Everybody, so we're here at PAX East again, and we came back to the Intell booth because many of you are requesting information about the incredible work that the Intell team has done in their production workflows. And you can see behind them the glass case with the rack with all the equipment in. And I'd love for you to tell me a little more about what you're doing here and maybe your workflow. Maybe you can start with production, like your cameras. How many cameras do you have?
Yeah, so we have about like 10 cameras on site. We have 3 or 4 that are dedicated especially just for social media, video capture, and online like YouTube, anything that's not live. And then we have another 6 cameras, including 5 Sony FX9s and 1 Sony PTZ that is currently actually hung on the truss for like our overhead shot. So all of that gets fed into Blackmagic 8K Constellation switcher. And the 2 LED walls you see are actually being switched by a Blackmagic 4K 2ME switcher.
Oh, very cool. So you have those 2 switchers, and then also you have your Blackmagic converters down there.
So up on the top, starting from the top, we have our Blackmagic switcher. That's a 40 input switcher. We're almost using everything up there. Then right below you can see the 2 screens, and that shows us what's on the LED wall at all times. Right below that is the 2ME that's actually handling the switching for the two LED screens. So if you can, sometimes during the game we actually have different feeds that go to Twitch and the LED walls depending on what we want different audiences to see. Right below that, the Smart Video Hub with the flashing red light, that's our video router. So that allows us to route video to different locations. Under that is a router control panel, multi-view in case we need it, and then we have 3 media players for all the different ad pieces and media pieces that all the different partners like Asus and Thermaltake and all these other brands want to play during their segments. Under that we have an Aja Key Pro Ultra that's doing the VOD record for the system, and under that we have a custom system that we built that's running the Expression graphics machine. Under that, we have a replay system and the graphic designer's computer, so you can actually see them at their stations right behind. And at the very bottom, we have our uninterruptible power supply that can power the whole stack for, I'd say, maybe like 15 minutes in case the power goes out.
Very, very cool. And then over on this side, what do we have over here?
And over on this side, we have our switch on the very top. That is actually a full 10G switch. Then right below that, we have our network attached storage. So it's actually about 50 terabytes of archival storage, another 50 terabytes of straight SSD storage. We have 6 laptops in those 1U chassis, and those are running some of the different displays that you're seeing on that video wall. We have an audio device that we're not currently using, a Yamaha Madi to Dante interface, another Yamaha Dante interface, and below that is all of our wireless microphones and IFBs, as well as our Dante switcher. At the very bottom there, you have our Riedel frame that is controlling all of the wireless and wired comm systems for all of the team. And on the bottom, we have one more uninterruptible power supply.
Of course. Are you converting all your audio to SDI, or are you running everything SDI? Or
so there is some audio that is run through SDI. Some of the game feed sometimes gets converted through HDMI into SDI, but most of our stuff running here is Dante.
Dante, okay. And everything's run 10, and all your systems are run through 10 gigs, so you have 10 gig bandwidth, right? That's very cool. And how many people do you have working on your team?
The production is currently around 35 people.
35 people. That's very, very cool. And how long does it take you to set up this?
We were here since last Wednesday, so it took us about like 6 days to set up.
6 days, and your teardowns are going to be about how many days?
Maybe, hopefully half a day.
Half a day. That teardown is always much easier to set.
You rip out a bunch of cables and you toss them in the bin and you go home.
You go home. There you go. Well, cool. Well, thank you so much for talking with us about your cool workflow. It's amazing what you're doing here. It's a good job. I know how hard it is to do this, and you got your cable troughs up there, and you're doing all that. It's much harder to lay it out than it is to take it out, but very cool. Thank you so much for talking to our listeners. They really enjoyed it, and we'll see you later.
Well, thank you.
All right.